Hello, Smite fans. What is up? Zambash here, coming back to you with picks for Week 3 of the fall split of the 2016 Smite Pro League. I apologize for my glowing skin down here in the corner. I am very white, and I waited until too late to record this video, so I've got to have the light on to be able to see anything, so my skin is just glowing right now. Anyways, we'll get right into it. Week 2 did not go amazing for us. We lost out on quite a bit of FP in Week 2. And I imagine a lot of people did. We batted barely over 50% because there were a lot of upsets that I don't think anyone would have seen coming back in Week 2 there. We'll go through that quickly. We made out okay in the first day for the first couple games. ALG took 2-0 over Enemy. Panda Cat is still not back with Enemy, and we are going to go forward assuming that Panda Cat will not return until the LAN, because that's how, from what the team members have said so far, I think we can assume that Panda Cat won't be back until right about the LAN time. So we're going to make our predictions going forward, assuming that Enemy will not have Panda Cat. And they just do not look like the same team without Panda Cat. Again, like I said last week, no shots at Fearno, who is their sub hunter right now. He's doing an amazing job as a sub, playing lights out, but their whole team's play style and cohesion just looks nothing like it normally does without Panda Cat there. So we're going to go forward assuming that Enemy is going to be quite weak, because without Panda Cat they have shown to be quite weak. Soar took 2-0 over Eager. Thought this would go a split, but it could have gone either way. That one's not really too surprising. Dig and Cyclone. Dig actually dropped the game to Cyclone GG. Pretty surprising. You can see the rest of how things went here yourself. One thing I will mention is this final game here, Enemy versus Luminosity Gaming. Even though, like I was saying, Enemy doesn't look too great without Panda Cat, if you miss the games live and you do want to catch up on some of them, this is my pick for series to watch, is this very final series here, Enemy versus Luminosity. Both games could have gone either way. The first one was long and very close the whole way, and then the second one was just a roller coaster. It was going back and forth the whole time. Really interesting games, and that would be my series to watch of the week. Just like I did last week, I will leave links to that series in the video description over on the Smite Pro channel. Now we'll move into this week, Week 3. We're following the same format of going NA, EU, EU, NA. So starting Thursday, we'll have Eager versus Envy. Envy really not looking very good. They're down there right at the bottom with Randozos. They're struggling a lot in most of their games, so we're going to go with Eager on this one. Eager did drop 2-0 to Soar, however, Eager also 2-0 to Allegiance, and I think Allegiance is stronger than Envy, so if Eager can 2-0 them, I think they should be able to take Envy. Allegiance versus Randozos, we're going to go with Allegiance on this one. Randozos still putting forth a good effort and not looking bad. They're like right on the cusp of breaking into being able to take games off of some of the higher teams, but they're just not quite there yet. Definitely still that bottom team. Things are looking rough for them. But you never know. They're still hanging in there and they're still trying their best, so we could see good things from them, but I think that'll go to Allegiant. Luminosity versus Denial. We're going to go with Denial on this one. Really interestingly, last week Denial actually dropped a game to Envy, and this is one of those upsets I was talking about with how Envy's playing and how Denial's playing. I don't think anyone would have thought Denial would drop a game to Envy, but they did, but then they came back very strong in the second game, so I think they just had a hiccup there. And I think Denial should be able to take Luminosity. Luminosity's certainly looking good. They're sitting in third place for the split right now. But I'm going to pick 2-0 Denial. It could go a split, though. Go whatever way you feel like on that one. Enemy versus Soar. We're going to go with Soar on this one. Soar's looking really strong. They're tied up there with Denial right now for first and second place. And Enemy, as we said, just isn't really looking great without Panda Cat there. Moving over to Europe. Paradigm versus Fantastique. Fantastique is struggling quite a bit here, and Fantastique has not actually been updated yet. No, that's another team. Okay, so Paradigm, still top 2 team, looking very solid. In fact, Paradigm's actually at the top of the leaderboard right now in Europe, whereas Fantastique hanging down there in the middle / bottom of the pack, so that one's probably going to go pretty cleanly 2-0 to Paradigm. Sanguine Esports versus Cyclone GG. They're the bottom 2 teams right now. This could really go either way. We'll probably just go split on this, I think, is a safe bet. Neither team looking very strong. Could be a 2-0, but there's no clear victor there, so we'll go with the split. Cringe Crew versus Dignitas. Cringe Crew is struggling a bit, surprisingly. I don't think they're showing up quite as strong as most people probably would have anticipated them to be this time around. We're going to go with the 2-0 to Dignitas. Dignitas is looking fairly decent. In this last week, if we go and look, they did 2-0 Fantastique, and they split with Cyclone though, so it's kind of hard to call, but Cringe Crew is struggling quite a bit, so we are going to go with Dignitas in this. But again, last week was crazy. You never know which way these are going to go. Cringe Crew took a game off of Energy, which is Panthera, by the way, in case you all missed that. Panthera has been picked up by Energy as their sponsor. So these could go either way, but we'll go with Dig for now. Energy versus Hungry for More. Hungry for More actually has a slight lead on Energy right now. They have the same win-loss count, but due to the way the splits and stuff worked out, Hungry for More is 1 point up on Energy. Close match. Energy, they're sort of faltering here a little bit in the midseason. It almost seems like they've just gotten a little complacent. It seems like when they really turn it up. If you listen to some F-Dot's commentary, and particularly during the Energy sets last week, Energy just seems like they're sort of going at a coast right now and not really too worried about things. But you can see when they really crank it up to their max gear, they can certainly dominate anyone who they want to. So it's weird to see them sitting where they are, but we'll go with a split on this one just because Energy have been dropping games recently. Energy versus Fantastique. Though Energy are dropping games, I don't really see them dropping one to Fantastique, even though they did drop one to Cringe Crew before. So we'll go with Energy 2-0 on that one. Man, I've got a mad itchy nose right now. Terrible, terrible. Alright, we'll get through this. Next one, Cringe Crew versus Cyclone GG. Cyclone GG is sitting bottom of the pack. Even though they have the same record here, Cringe Crew is up 1 point, but Cringe Crew is really struggling. And let's see, who was it that Cyclone GG took a game off? Cyclone did take a game off of Dignitas in this last week. I think we're actually going to go with a split on this one. That one could go either way, and probably likely to go Cringe Crew, but Cyclone is showing signs of life, so we're going to go with a split on that. Hungry for More versus Sanguine. Sanguine really struggling. They're down there at the bottom, tied with Cyclone GG for the bottom. We're going to go Hungry for More. They're in the top 2 right now, and looking quite solid, even though they are dropping one here and there. Paradigm versus Dignitas. Gonna have to go with Paradigm on this one, though Dignitas is looking fairly solid. Paradigm's looking really solid. Is particularly interesting because they tend to sort of slack through the splits, I would say. Some of the commentators during the games were picking up on that as well also, that Paradigm really seems like they've buckled down and are ready to solidify themselves as one of those top, currently the top team in Europe. So we're going to go with Paradigm 2-0 on that one. Back over to North America. Enemy versus Envy. This one's kind of hard to call right now, but Enemy, as we said, looking very shaky without PandaCat. So I think we're going to go with a split on this one. I wouldn't be surprised to see Envy take a pretty quick victory in game 1 and then have game 2 go into a long drawn out victory with Enemy coming out on top due to their objective control. Luminosity versus Randozos. This one I think is pretty simple. We'll go with Luminosity. Randozos, again, sitting at the bottom of the pack there, and Luminosity looking fairly solid for what they can do. Again, Luminosity versus Envy were great, or Enemy rather, were great games. Definitely watch those, and Luminosity did come out on top. Thor versus Allegiance. I certainly think Allegiance has the potential to take a game off of Soar, but I don't think they actually will in this matchup. I think your safest bet is to go 2-0 Soar on this. Allegiance really shows some good signs of life in some of their games, but they seem very inconsistent at this point, which isn't terribly surprising considering the massive roster overhaul they've had. And our final set of week 3 is going to be Eager versus Denial. This one could go either way. Again, it's one where I think Eager definitely could take a game off of Denial, but assuming Denial is back in their top form here like they were in their game 2 against Envy, I think Denial will certainly take that 2-0 if they're playing at their top form. So hopefully we make out a little better than we did last week. There were some big upsets and stuff that I don't think anyone anticipated. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Been doing these every week. And we'll see you guys next week for week 4 of the SPL. Have a nice day.